Welcome to Just One Song. In this program, our goal is to write one song within 45 minutes. But it's important to remember that the song doesn't have to be good. It just has to exist. With me tonight, I have Martin Gachiri, an accomplished and very talented songwriter. Martin, why don't you tell us a little bit about your songwriting history, your musical history?
So I started playing guitar when I was maybe 12 or so, but it wasn't until I was, say, a sophomore in high school that I tried, writing anything for the first time. So for a while, it was a lot of I would just write guitar riffs and kind of string them together and call that like an instrumental, and that was my kind of thing. And then when I got to Cal Poly, that's when I started really, writing more frequently. Like I started doing those 30-day songwriting challenges with, other music majors. So that was kind of like what we're doing here, where it was just the idea of writing every single day and, using that as motivation. And that's where, well, not even that. It's not that's you're getting better. It's just like you're kind of forcing yourself to have that discipline and just try to draw from the well every day. It's that's how I view it, at least. But that's where I really got used to writing and comfortable with what I liked and kind of what my voice was. Being forced to put something out, you have to put yourself in all these different boxes and stuff like that to try to force something. So that's kind of what I learned about where I am as a writer and who I am and all that good stuff.
So you're pretty comfortable as a songwriter?
Yeah.
That's good.
Kind of.
I make this joke that I can write good songs, but I am not a good songwriter. And I think that the difference between the two is a good songwriter has a songwriting process. Okay. I don't know if that's kind of my thought behind it. I don't really have much of a process. I'm more of a write when the inspiration strikes, and if you're always waiting for inspiration, you're never going to write enough to be happy with it. So for tonight, do you have any idea of how we want to write? Do you have a process?
So my process, it depends on kind of where my starting point is. When I took songwriting at Cal Poly, some of the methods or strategies that I don't remember her name, the professor, but some of the things she taught us were to start with a song title or a phrase or a unique phrase. You ever hear someone say something, you're I've never heard someone say it like that. So take something like that, no matter what it is, and try to make a song out of it, because 10 people might hear that unique phrase. Right. You're all going to interpret it a little differently.
I see.
So that's one way I like to start. Sometimes when you talk about inspiration striking, I'll think of a guitar riff or something, and I'll go from there. Other times I'll just listen for a drum loop that I like and see if that inspires something.
Some creativity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are kind of my go-to
methods.
Yeah.
So it's all about the starting point.
Oh yeah.
Something to draw from. Okay, that's really cool. So let's say we have 45 minutes and we need to write one song. How would we start this?
This seems like the situation for starting with a title.
Okay. So do you would you think of, is it just something you hear and you're oh, let's latch on to that. That sounds...
Sometimes it's that, but there's actually a website that has a list of 4 tools that people use, I guess, when they're doing this challenge.
Okay.
And they're called Plot Spine, Structure, Lyric Cloud, and Titular. So the last one, Titular gives you 5 titles that are randomly generated. So I literally just pulled it up on my laptop right now, and the first one it gave me was Gothic Windows Friend. Second one was Chrome and Games. Third one was Half a Dollar.
Half a dollar?
Fourth one is a Little British Right.
Little British Right? Right is an R-I-G-H-T? W-R-I-T?
Yeah, it was the R-I-G-H-T. The last one here is Wanting in the Flower.
Oh, wow.
So, I'll just look at those, and then, I'll just generate a bunch, and if something... I have, a notepad document with, a whole bunch of titles that I've liked and I haven't used yet, so that's, yeah.
So, do any of the ones you just brought up inspire something? Is there something in there where you're I think I can... It sounds like you write lyrics first, huh?
I guess it's kind of that, but sometimes it's like I'll hear the title and it might inspire a lyric, but with the lyric comes like
There's like a mood.
yeah, exactly, like a whole mood and like this and that. So that's what helps me, jumpstart it. Other than the British one, but I'm not British, so
We don't know
like
too much enough about Britain.
I'm like that sounds like a like sarcastic political song or something, but I'm not. I don't know.
I don't know about writing a political song right now. I don't know how controversial I want to be.
Yeah, this can be like a process because we're kind of just like it'll throw just random fly with mouse.
Fly with mouse. Okay.
Well, I just saw one that's like waiting how to start.
Waiting how to start. So some of this doesn't make any sense, huh?
No, exactly. But that's kind of the you could take it exactly how it is, and then it's like, how would you make that make sense? Waiting how to start.
You could that could be part of a phrase.
Yeah,
because I'm waiting.
There you
go. How do I start?
See,
dude, let's do that. All
Does
that one sound good to do?
Yeah, waiting how to let's do it.
So the song can be waiting. Colon
with like I'm in parentheses.
Oh yeah, well, I'm waiting, and then in the parentheses, how to start. That's cool. So what kind of mood does that bring about? If that's what you're feeling from that, what do you get from that?
Right away, I'm thinking of like, of course, like some kind of theme of indecisiveness or
so like kind of melancholy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
or maybe even anxious, like feeling like. Yeah, so melancholy definitely. I also kind of think anxious, like anxiety of like trying to figure out how to start something or feeling stuck.
I see. So something uneasy.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man. And how would that translate musically? That's the fun thing to think of when we're doing these. Okay, so melancholy, anxiety. I'm writing these down. Nervous, stuff like that. Okay, so what would you do? Would you sit down and try to find music that would fit that? Like,
in this case, like the first thing I'm thinking is what the I'm thinking like lyrics first, like what the theme would be.
I see.
Oh yeah, so I was thinking some kind of at some point there needs to be like a half step, like
a modulation down or something, or just
something like
a passing note.
Or it could be that. I'm just like, see, there you go. So there's like multiple ways to incorporate some kind of element like that. So
dominant sevenths will do it. So, in my experience, I've always found like a real melancholy chord is any major seventh chord. You know what I mean? Like D major 7 has it's got that really, it's pretty, but it's sad. But it's always major, and it uses a lot of those and a lot of like minor chords. That's what I hear. We don't have to use that. But I think
I'm down. Hey, that's a starting point.
Yeah, I'm waiting how to start. I think it has a real melancholy feel. Okay, so what about lyrics?
What do you think when you think of that title?
I think when I think of that title, I think of like people our age who like, especially in today's climate, like everything is so scary and it's big, and we don't know where to begin. So a lot of times I feel like we wait for certain things to fit a certain way, behave a certain way before we take advantage or we get moving on things. I think of our general indecisiveness as a group of people when faced with just crazy stuff. You know, songwriting is one of those things like, oh, I'm waiting for inspiration to strike. How do I start songwriting? But it's like, you know, oh, I'm waiting for the right opportunity in my life to come out. How do I start? How do I make those things happen? How do I get started? It's a song about a lot of confusion, I think. This is a song about being confused with where you're at. That's my impression.
I'm with it.
What do you
fits.
Think?
It's kind of along the same lines. I wasn't thinking as specific as I wasn't thinking as broad as society. Like when I hear something like that, I'm thinking of someone detailing their like what's going on in their head that's keeping them.
Okay. It's
that's where my head goes, but that might it still it still connects. It's just I wasn't thinking as broad as
yours is more personal.
Hmm.
You know, I think we can play. I think it's possible to do both. We either zoom in or we zoom out. You know what I mean? If we go verse from verse.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah,
I don't know. How does that sound?
I'm open to anything.
Let's see. Let's say we're writing. One of the methods I learned at Cal Poly Pomona, I should specify, I guess, was you have your idea, you have your mood, you have your theme, your title, and when you look at that, then we had to pick like 6 words. 6, or it was like a bunch of words. We had a bunch of words we had to use that we were given like a minute, and then we had to use those words throughout the song. And so that always was like a guide for me. Like, I need to write a verse, so I need to use this word in that, and then you can rhyme something with it, or it just helps frame it. Have you ever done something like that?
Yeah, that's actually there's another tool on that site that's very like similar. So it's interesting that you say that, like the idea of like a kind of lyric cloud. Like in this one, you would insert a word and it'll give you like kind of similar words, or you know what I mean.
Do you want to use this site, or should we do this organically?
I think we could do this organically. I mean, I'm good either way, but
I think so. I'm just putting down words. Nervous, confused, anxious is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a type of excitement. Lost, I guess. What do you think? Throw some words at me.
I'm thinking stuck.
Ooh, yep.
Hesitant. I don't know if these are too similar.
They're just starting points. These are fine. We don't have to use all of them.
Maybe complacent.
Complacent? Like,
but I'm actually... It's funny because I'm thinking that it's not quite complacency, though, right? If you're worrying about not knowing how to start, it's because you're not complacent,
maybe, like,
right?
We can do, like, 2 words. False complacency.
Yeah, something like that. Just...
It's...
I know it's not quite complacency if you're not happy with it, right? Like...
Well, I don't think being complacent... Does complacent imply happiness?
It implies that you're, like...
Comfortable.
Or that things not changing is okay. That's kind of...
I see. Okay, so false complacency is a paradox. That doesn't make sense. Or complacency is the wrong word to use. It's like... What's a good word? I know the word...
I think you could make it work, though. Like, if you're saying, like, maybe someone's feeling as if they should be complacent.
False complacency is one of those words where it's like there's a lot of syllables, but it's also kind of got a rhythm to it. I love those types of phrases, personally. It's very modest and mousy. You know, they use all these big words. What's the other one? There's contentedness. Being content doesn't... It means peace. Content... Maybe it's how to get to be content, how to feel complacent in your life, and you're so uneasy, and you just want to know how to get there.
I like that, yeah. Complacency is like the goal.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because that word kind of has a weird vibe to it. So if you can make it like a positive thing,
it's kind of
as far as these lyrics go, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for.
Okay.
Because complacency has like a negative connotation, I think. Because it implies you're not like striving for something, or you're not trying to progress.
Right. I think people use it hand in hand with laziness.
Yeah, exactly.
Or being happy with being unhappy, I guess. Like, I don't know, like life sucks, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. And then the whole thing is, but you can do something about it. And maybe this is about someone realizing, I can do something to make things better. So let's see what I can do to find that. Okay, well how would you start throwing down like lyrics? Like, whenever I write lyrics for my own songs, I have this problem of writing limericks. I'll write, da 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 da.